Hello there, guys, and welcome to another episode of Second Life Electronics. We haven't done one of these in a while. I think it's time for a coffee chat. Let's get started. Alright then, guys, welcome back to Coffee Chat. First off, at the time of recording this, we're on 54 subscribers, 54 real people, and honestly, that means more to me than chasing any sort of viral moment. If you're one of those 54, thank you. We really do appreciate it. So I wanted to talk today about something that's been on my mind a lot recently. I'm becoming more and more aware that modern conveniences, should we say, are slowly destroying the way that we consume media. Everything now is instant. Streaming platforms decide what you should do next. Music apps decide what you should listen to next. Gaming storefronts push what they want you to buy next. And it's all based on algorithms, not choice, not curiosity, not stumbling across something weird and wonderful in a shop. It's just data. And the companies behind those algorithms proudly tell shareholders how much data they have on you, how predictable you are, how well they can steer you. And that just doesn't sit right with me. That's part of the reason I've been getting back into physical media lately. So, things like Laserdiscs, vinyl records, even retro video games. Now, when I pick up a Laserdisc, I choose what I'm watching, not a recommendation engine. When I put a vinyl on the turntable, I listen to the album, the whole thing, in the order that the artist intended. There's no shuffle, there's no skip after 20 seconds, no, you might also like. It's deliberate. And I think we've lost a lot of that. Now, the past few weeks, I've actually been setting up my Commodore 64 in the evenings to test cassette games that we're selling on our eBay store. And I'll be honest, I've actually enjoyed waiting for those tapes to load. Now, I know that sounds mad in 2026, but this is something about it. You press play, you hear the whir of the tape, you watch the loading screen. Some of the loading screens were absolutely fantastic. Sometimes they even had some clever music playing while you wait. I was listening to one the other day, it was a US Gold release, and they actually had the American National Anthem playing whilst you were waiting for the tape to load. Their programs back then, they were absolute geniuses. They were working with just 64 kilobytes of memory, and yet somehow they squeezed creativity, personality, and charm into every byte. Now we've got machines running on Intel, and like myself, I'm running on an AMD Ryzen 7 7800X3D, and millions of times more powerful than the Commodore 64 was, and yet somehow everything feels more bloated, more disposable. We have more power, but less soul. Now, modern convenience removes friction, but sometimes the friction is the point. Waiting for a tape to load, build that anticipation, waiting for that, what's this game actually going to be like? Putting a record on, it makes you commit. I'm going to place that record on, I'm going to wait for that entire album, I'm going to sit. I don't just sit and to listen. Owning a physical copy means that no one can ever take it away from a server overnight and you just lose access. You're not renting access, you own it. And I think more people are starting to wake up to that. And that's a big part of why we're leaning into physical media with Second Life. We're not just selling stuff, preserving it, giving things a second life. Because this stuff matters, it tells a story. Now, my wife and I are wanting to have kids in the future. I can't hand down a Steam library, but I can hand down my collection of Laserdiscs, collection of vinyl records, my physical game media. And that's something that future generations are losing. So, anyway, that's today's ramble. Again, if you're one of the 54 that have subscribed to us, thanks again. If you're new here, hit subscribe. Let me know in the comments, are you still buying physical media, or have you gone fully digital? Right. I'm going to finish this coffee, and I've got a tape to load. I'll see you in the next one.